serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So withdrawal detachable from the mandible, you see it now?
Roles of a denizen. A content creator is a user that creates posts and is rewarded based on the quality of their content. A content evaluator is a user that helps assess the quality of content and enforces community standards. The evaluator is effectively taking part in a marketplace to curate content and is rewarded for early evaluation. A content consumer is a user that wishes to find and consume the most valuable content in a given subject area or within a community. A lair owner is a person holding tokenized ownership of all or part of a community lair. Owners are rewarded with a portion of all mining activity happening within their lair. Owners are incentivized to build the best community of content creators and evaluators. On social media platforms today, quality content often goes unnoticed. On Den, users get paid for the creation, evaluation, and curation of quality content. Content creators are rewarded based upon the engagement and reach of their post or comment. Content evaluators are rewarded based upon the speed and results of their predictions about which content will trend or go viral. Community owners are rewarded based on engagement within their community. On Den, quality content pays.
Hello, and everybody. This is I Am, aka William, and this is a meeting. This is the Den.Social DENDAO meeting. Den.Social is ran by a DAO. I was elected the leader, and the title for that leadership before I was elected was Emperor. So therefore, hence the name underneath Emperor of the DENDAO for Den.Social. Again, this is our weekly meeting where we discuss open issues, open items for the DENDAO, maybe governance votes, support issues, future potential changes, issues of the day, etc. So this is a meeting. This is not a podcast. And if you go to Den.Social, go into the DENDAO Lair, layers are categories, you can see this posting for the meeting. And inside there is a link to join the meeting. Cameras are optional. And I'll bring you on into our live meeting where we can discuss your topic or concern or ideas for advancement, income generation, etc. for the site. Also, you can see that link on the posting right here on YouTube. So let's bring up today's agenda, and we're going to talk about open governance votes. We'll again address the DEN support issues. We'll talk about possibly adding a prediction layer or layers with AI detection to DEN to grow users and to grow income. And then we'll open it up to Q&A for anyone that has posted anything on the DENDAO. So let's go straight into number one. Current open governance votes. And I believe that's here. There are only two. One is the themes for December for World Blockchain Roundtable. The next are Changes for the month of January themes, 5 items will be selected. We can go in here and you can place your votes for the topics for World Blockchain Roundtable if you own lot in that layer. By the way, that is the longest running DAO podcast in the world. It is like, I want to say episode 240 or something like that. And each episode is a week. So 240 weeks that this episode, that the World Blockchain Roundtable, where they discuss issues and items and future tech, anything surrounding blockchain, is discussed by a panel, and it's user participation. So you can submit themes, you can submit questions, the panel addresses the questions based off of votes. And all of that takes place on Den.Social, which has an amazing governance capability. So that is everything that's in the governance screen. So that takes care of number 1. Number 2 is right here, open DIN support issues, MTR payouts. That's right here. I just refreshed it. The last entry was mine, which was December 3rd. And we already discussed that. This has to do with the MTR payouts. And if you scroll down, I highly recommend you look at this posting that I did on December 2nd. DIN social payments are down, but DIN is not dead. The site does work. It just isn't it's calculating the payments, but the payment calculator isn't moving it over for everyone to see and for them to be dispersed to everybody. So yes, it does work. Den.Social does work. That's the bottom line. It's just not making the payouts in matter. And I know that's frustrating for everybody. I explained it numerous weeks, and I've explained it here in this post again. So I encourage you to look at that. So there are no new items in support. And unfortunately, this issue has not been resolved yet. We just have a resource problem. We don't have the time. We don't have the money to pay the devs. The devs don't have the time. There's only so many devs, and they're working on other projects that are paying the bills for them. All right. Number 3, this is to add on to our discussion last week in our meeting. What if we added a prediction layer or AI detection to Den.Social? Could this generate income? Is this something that's possible? And that's what I want to quickly dive into and maybe kind of paint a picture for you. What would a prediction layer be? Why would we want to go down that route? And why AI detection, all of those things. Well, let's dig into it. All right. First and foremost, every posting you do on Den.Social is a micro prediction. In other words, the community votes on that posting. If that posting is of quality or not quality, we tag it. Is it original or not original? We do all kinds of things as denizens to evaluate, and we earn matter for those evaluations on a posting. So we are, in a sense, a prediction site already. What we just haven't done is we haven't been able to maybe foresee or jump into the market in the prediction market. And there are other sites out there. The 2 biggest right now that I'm aware of are Polymarket, which is a decentralized marketplace, and it's actually on Polygon, which is a layer 2 underneath ETH or Ethereum. And it's huge, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. The second largest, I believe, is Kalshi. And again, another prediction market. And a prediction market, these prediction markets are basically sports, politics, you name it. Even what's the weather high temperature going to be in Chicago or London or Hong Kong or something like that. And So it's all kinds of various different predictions that can be made, and people essentially bet. They bet, is this person right or is this person wrong? It's no different than what we're doing here on Den.Social. Let me bring you to this point, just as an example. See, in the artificial layer, and I just posted this a little bit ago, let me go ahead and refresh this so you see how long ago I pressed it in. 1 hour ago. Okay. See, we have these tags made by AI or made by human. Someone could post an image, and then we as denizens would tag it AI or human, and we would vote one up and we'd vote one down, something like to that effect. Or I'm going to say, no, I think this is human and this is made by AI, is not made by AI. So see, we have a prediction capability already baked into what we are doing on Den.Social. And yes, you do earn rewards for correctly tagging, and when tagging reaches consensus, then those translate into matter. So see, we were doing this a long, long time ago. We were ahead of the curve. And so this is just an example. And this is a multi-billion-dollar market by people asking, is this AI or is this human? You know, is this fake or is this real? Fake meaning AI. So what if as denizens were presented images and we tag them human or AI, and we are incentivized to get it correct and get it accurate? You know, that's called using the wisdom of the crowd. And there are people out there that need this information. They want to know what the wisdom of the crowd is. And if you're not familiar with the term wisdom of the crowd, this is a human phenomenon that if you take a large group of individuals and you ask them a question, at this end, very few are going to get it right. And, let's, in the example that was first discovered way back in like 1850 in England, how much does this steer weigh? And everyone wrote it down on a piece of paper and put it in a box. Well, butchers were the accuracy kind of was like a bell curve. You know, those charts that go up and then they come down on the other side. All right, well, that's a bell curve. And at the top is the accurate picture. Well, the wisdom of the crowd, they were more accurate, believe it or not, than, say, butchers or ranchers who deal with this all the time. Yes, they're going to be close to the top, but the average of the crowd, which is wisdom of the crowd, is far more accurate. So that's why these prediction markets are important. There are going to be people that are looking for prediction markets to decipher and to determine what is real, what is fake, what is AI, what is not AI. We have it right here. We have this capability right here, and we can be incentivized. And we can start, posting or seeing images out there, maybe on YouTube or wherever, TikTok, wherever, and we could come over here and post it, and and the wisdom of the crowd, we as denizens would vote these up or down, and go back to that site and say, Den.Social wisdom of the crowd says that it's AI, or Den.Social wisdom of the crowd says it's not AI, it's human made, it's a real image. And people are going to say, well, what's Den.Social? What's this wisdom of the crowd stuff? Maybe we will attract people over here. And it could grow and grow and grow. That's just one example. Let me give you another one. We have sports. We have a sports layer. And the sports layer is, like in this example, this was back in June, Spain versus Portugal, the final match. Who's going to win? And, we have the tags up there, news, original, and the article, is asking people to comment, on this particular post. Well, we could do that too, but we could do it just a little bit differently. Let me show you this idea. See if I can pull it up here. What if, let me see. move this here real quick. Let me pull this one up for you, because this will give you a really good idea of what I'm trying to do here. Explain so you can see it. Look at this. What if this post was this way? You know, who's going to win, Spain or Portugal in the final match? And there was a tag, Spain or Portugal, and we tagged it. And then Portugal won. Voila, Portugal wins. And those who tagged it correctly earn the reward. You know, how that might look is just a little different in that it would look like this. My apologies, I got to do it another way here. These are different windows that won't come up. We could change the UI just a little bit, and we could vote with our energy. Right here. Let me make this a little bit larger for everyone to see. Imagine if it was like something like this, Spain versus Portugal, who's going to win, and we voted with our energy. And the rewards for this particular posting, and again, this would be in, let's say, the prediction sports layer, you see? And we would vote up or down which, prediction questions we think are good or not good, or what are going to be handled well. Is this person, Pablo Escobar too, is he a good person for conducting polls, and does he resolve them correctly? And there would be a checkbox for him to resolve it and click on Portugal, as Portugal won the match. And everyone who voted with their energy, it's almost like a wager. It's almost like a bet. They bet that Portugal would beat Spain. Well, guess what? They did. They won. And so those people who had voted on this particular, wager, or polygon, as like in Polygon, Polymarket or Kalshi, is essentially what we could do. So simple, so easy to make a change and bring people over to start voting on energy. And people are going to want to buy more matter so they have more votes and can earn more. And so we can still have all the wonderful things that we have on Den with posting photos and our various layers, etc. But we could also have these prediction layers. We could have one up here that says prediction politics, prediction sports, prediction weather, prediction culture, prediction movies, prediction celebrities, whatever. And people could make these various layers. We could make these various layers and start driving traffic to our site, because we are already a prediction market. We just haven't refined it or changed it in a way that these other prediction markets work. Let me show you another one to give you, just because what I wanted to do was I wanted to make a visual example of what we're talking about here. Let's see if I can do this. And tell you how big the prediction market is. Let me show you this. Okay, as of 2025, the prediction market has been significant growth, reaching a total volume of approximately $44 billion. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of predictions. And our platform is ripe for this. It's just a small tweaks. I think we could get some good money, good investors into the site to help us, fix the matter payment system, tweak it just a bit on the UI, and even allow it to have, let's have another, go at it with a mobile app, and that's a lot of money in the prediction markets. And look at this. Poly market right here. You see this? This is the big one. $1.2 billion in weekly wages or weekly, bets. That's how much volume in 1 week this site is doing. And it's doing it on Polygon. Kalshi, the second biggest, $900 million per week. We'd be tickled pink to have $1 million per week coming into our site, right? Think of the price of matter. And this thing is going to grow significantly. Look at this. Some people don't care about politics, but look at this growth rate, 43%. Weekly volume in politics is 1.2 billion. For the year. Economics was 112 million. Tech and science, 123 million. Sports, well, that dominates it. You can see that weekly volume up here in sports. But even still, that's huge. And 2025 is might be kind of like a down year because 2024 was the big U.S. Presidential election, which really brought these poly markets, or prediction markets as they're called, to the forefront. So you can see that we have a huge opportunity here. Oh, now, what do these sites look like? Well, before I do that, let me show you this. Okay, so this is like I said, it's called Poly Market is the big one, and their example or symbol and this kind of thing. It's obviously they have it on a phone, and you're betting on all kinds of different things like this, the highest grossing movie in 2024, and everything resides to $1. So 28 cents plus 73 cents equals $1 roughly, and it's a buy sell on each one. We'll do it a little bit differently because we're talking about energy and applying energy to a market, kind of more of a yes or no kind of thing rather than multiples. And we could do multiples, but you get the idea here a little bit. Let me show you this real quick. See, Super Bowl champs, who's going to win? And there's where multiples, might say the Chiefs or the 49ers or the Ravens, whatever year this was. But this had $6.4 billion bet, and this was in February of 2025. $6.4 billion, and 13% picked the Chiefs to win. And if the Chiefs won, then those who predicted the Chiefs, they get the earnings. We can do this right here on Den.Social. It's a prediction market, very different than a betting waging market. And how it shows, this is the graph, how many people thought Trump would win the election in Arizona, how many people thought that Harris would win, and then it gets resolved at the end based off of who actually won the state. And that's how it works. Let's take a look really at the Polygon website. This is their website. And kind of zoom in here for you a little bit. This is when you open it. This is what's trending. Who will Trump nominate as Fed chair? These kind of things. Boxing, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Who's going to win that one? And see, 11% say Jake. Anthony gets 87% so far, and it hasn't been resolved yet, etc. And you can see politics. Elon Musk is in politics, Democrats, presidential election winner for 2028. See, they already have these two people. They're not even, haven't said that they're going to run yet. But if you wanted to pick Gavin Newsom, he's at 18 cents basically right now. We'll jump over here to sports. The sports is massive. NFL, NBA, NHL, soccer, hockey, tennis, you name it. And live games, what's going on live games. And, what's live? Look at, there's $101,000 on this one. Martin Lawrence versus Nikolai Budkov Kajer. It goes, it's huge. It's really is a huge marketplace, and we at DEN are so close to being able to do this. So close. It wouldn't take much, and this is a rage right now in America. Sports betting, prediction markets, etc. It's a rage. I think it's just growing as a rage all over the world. And we have that capability, everybody. We could do this, very easily. And I just want to paint that picture for you as an example. And I'm going to pull this up again. For you to imagine, imagine you're putting your energy on which team you thought was going to win or which politician's going to win. And you could do it in your country. If you're in Serbia, if you're in Venezuela, if you're in Hong Kong, if you're in, England, France, wherever, the US, you could create these polls, generate that energy, votes, because they like your poll. I think it's going to be very popular. They're going to jump in early and they're going to cast their votes with energy. They cast their vote for energy. It gets locked. There's a lot of mechanics to it. It will get locked until it gets resolved who won the match or whatever the prediction market was. And, or, Den.Social, we had the income for it, and Den.Social would be able to, have people within the DAO that resolve these, and then essentially click the buttons, verify the win, and click the button, and then the payouts happen. There's all kinds of things that could go along with this. For me personally, I like the video. I like the deplatform concept in free speech and video. It's had video added to the platform. I really do like that. That's a bigger lift and a lot more money to accomplish that. What we also have baked into us, other than prediction market, is of course the DAOs. We have a solid mechanism for proposals, voting, verification that the person has lot to be able to vote on a proposal, all of these kinds of things. And that is marketable. We could sell that and generate income. So we have those areas, and we obviously have this prediction market, which I think is a very cheap and inexpensive lift that we could start with, and wouldn't take a lot of dev time and money, and it wouldn't take a lot to generate that investment vehicle. And the 2028 election in the US is right around the corner, to be honest with you. As far as the betting markets go, in 2027 it's going to be hot. And if we're ahead of the game and we already have this in place and we become a betting market around the world. And remember, see, this is another beautiful thing with Den.Social. You can come in and with just an email, and you automatically get 24 energy, and you could start voting with your energy and start earning. So it doesn't mean that you got to go out and buy matter to do that. All the other sites, guess what? You have to buy their token or submit your credit card and buy that gamble, that money. It's actual real money that you're putting on the site, and not like DEN. Very different. Secondly, look at that. Here on DEN, you own the post, you own the poll that's being suggested. You would own, a part of the category, as in lot. Matter has very few tokens. It has scarcity. And we can drive that volume to this thing, could explode in value, explode in users, and we'll all be much, much happier to see the wisdom of the crowd truly pay out as it should and at the capability and potential that Den.Social has. All right. Well, I'm off my soapbox. I wanted to paint that picture for you so you can maybe visualize it and see what a prediction market looks like, how it could possibly look on Den.Social, just in a very crude way, but so that maybe you could visualize it and understand it, what it is. We are so close by the foundation that we've already laid to be able to add that functionality and generate a huge buzz to Den.Social. But that's only my opinion. That would require a DENDAO vote. And of course, it requires money, first and foremost. You know, I got to knock on some doors, and Joe and everyone else, including you, need to knock on doors and say, hey, look, this is a prediction market for postings for social media. It could be turned into a prediction market, you know, the other way. And because it's energy and it's not direct money, there's a lot of opportunity there that is not going to be under the realm of the CFTC or the SEC. These are U.S. government as well as European regulatory bodies that might create a problem for us. This would be very different. We're not asking people to submit their dollars over to the site and bet with real money. Energy is not traded anywhere. It can't even leave the platform. So NRG, that is. Oh, we have, I think, a mind-boggling opportunity and potential here. So there it is. All right. Next week, the following week is the Christmas week. The 24th is Christmas Eve, and then 31st is New Year's Eve. So I hope you watch this, share this with fellow denizens, and make some postings here on the DENDAO. It's probable that there will not be a DENDAO meeting for the next 2 weeks because of the holidays. That would mean that I would be back on January 7th, the new year, 2026, for our next DENDAO meeting. Unless some kind of emergency arises and we need to have an emergency DENDAO meeting, this will do it for this year. And we will see you next year in 2026, January 7th, which is a Wednesday, for the next DENDAO meeting. I want to wish everyone a Merry, Merry Christmas and good tidings and a happy, healthy, wonderful time celebrating the new year. Please be safe, and we will see you next year. All right. And to take us out, we're going to go ahead and go back over that tokenization reward. Remember, Den.Social's got potential. It's got huge potential. I believe in it. You should too. We were struggling through this matter payout situation right now, but it will get resolved. Keep posting. Those earnings you'll see them soon. Take care. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
On social media platforms today, quality content often goes unnoticed. On Den, users get paid for the creation, evaluation, and curation of quality content. Content creators are rewarded based upon the engagement and reach of their post or comment. Content evaluators are rewarded based upon the speed and results of their predictions about which content will trend or go viral. Community owners are rewarded based on engagement within their community. On Den, quality content pays.